Okay. Namaste, y'all. So thanks everybody for bearing with me. This is a kind of a new experiment we're doing here. I know that a lot of you are going to be heading north soon, and so I want to make these resources available to you so that if you're north and you want to enjoy a yoga class on the beach, you'll be able to do that. So we're creating a new YouTube channel for my different recordings and meditations and teachings and stuff. So that's what this is all about. And again, I thank you for your patience while I work out some of the technical things. So, how is everybody this morning? Good. Anything in particular that anybody wants to work on today? Specific areas of the body? Hip openers. Excellent. Good. Good. We're going to do that. I'm sorry? Shoulders. You know me, I always do shoulders. Yeah, that's one of my issues as well. Okay, so coming into whatever kind of a comfortable seated position works for you, with the intention of having your spine upright. Take a moment and shift your weight around from buttocks to thighs and heels, just so you can really feel the places where your body rests down against the ground. And of course, one of the most wonderful things about doing yoga out here on the beach is that we actually get to be in contact with the ground. Now, of course, down here in Florida, of course, we're outdoors oriented, so it's not as uncommon as it is in other lifestyles, but it's so important to be in touch with the earth, to get grounded. So, closing the eyes, lifting up through the crown of the head, roll your shoulders up and back and down, and let the palms of the hands rest on the knees with the palms facing up. Now, beginning to focus on your breath. Inhaling through the nose. Feel that cool, dry, fresh, clean air coming in and glancing against the tip of the nostrils. Feel how the breath flows against the back of the throat and down into the lungs. And as you exhale, notice that the air moving outwards across the nostrils or the lips is moist and warm. So just notice the different quality of the in-breath and the out-breath. And as you attune to your breath, coming back into your body, letting your mind quiet. Letting go of the thoughts about what's already happened. And letting go of those thoughts that project forward into what might happen. One of the basic tenets of yoga is to be here now. It's one of the main reasons we do yoga, and why we feel so much better afterwards, is that it helps to quiet down all of that extraneous narration and speculation and analysis that the mind puts us through all the time. There's a tremendous difference between experiencing the moment and thinking about the moment. So it's my intention that through this process this morning, you will be able to be more fully present here and now, and less concerned with what was or what might be. Now letting your breath grow a little bit deeper. Sending the inhalation down into the belly. And feel the abdomen expand with that fresh incoming breath. And get a sense of the ebb and flow of your breath. Feel how the inhalation takes you to fullness. And then the exhalation takes you to emptiness. Notice there's a pause between in-breath and out-breath. And as you feel the subtle sensations associated with the breath, see if you can tune in and become aware of more subtle sensations coming from your body. The warmth of the sun against your skin, the coolness of the air, the sense of pressure or contact between the body and the ground, the sense of contact between your clothing and your skin. Notice how you feel internally as well. Are there any areas of tension or tightness in the muscles or even in the organs of the abdomen? Just check in with yourself and feel. Come back to your senses. In any given moment, there are millions and millions of sensory events that are coming into your system. But we filter out so many, and often we choose not to feel in order to think. So we're going to reverse that process. We're going to let go of our thinking habit and let ourselves really be in our bodies in the present moment, taking conscious breaths and feeling all the information coming from all the nerve endings in the body. Now with your next inhalation, reaching up through the crown of the head, feel your spine lengthen, especially the neck. Let the shoulders drop away from the ears. And with your next exhalation, we're going to let right ear drop over to right shoulder. And then let your head tilt a little bit forwards and back. And then let your head come back up to center. And then exhale, left ear, falling over to left shoulder. As you feel that stretch now on the right side of the neck, does that side feel any significantly different than it did on the left? Is it tighter, looser, more sensation, less sensation? Inhale, bring the head back up to center, and exhale once again, right ear dropping towards right shoulder. Same thing, this time a little bit more action in the stretch. We're going to press down through that left elbow, and we're going to roll the head a little bit forwards and back. And notice how that moves the stretch around a little bit from the shoulder towards the collarbone. And then as you inhale, let your head come back up to center, and then exhaling the left ear down over the left shoulder. And again, let your head roll a little forwards and back. And then bring your head back up to center and drop the chin towards the throat. Feel the weight of the head, helping to stretch the back of the neck a little bit. And then beginning to trace a line with the chin up the right collarbone towards the right shoulder. And then back down along the collarbone and up the left collarbone towards the left shoulder. And let yourself go back and forth a few times. And then bringing the chin back down, let the palms of your hands float upwards to the back of the head. Exhale the breath out. And then inhale, lift your body up, face towards the sky, press those elbows back, open your chest, and take a couple of nice deep breaths into the upper lungs. Feel how nice it is to have that additional space there in the chest. And now as you exhale, begin to round, tucking the chin and curl your spine forwards just a little bit, just to the point where you begin to feel that resistance. And then inhale, come back up, arch, lift the chin, lift the chest, pinch the shoulder blades a little closer together. And then once again, exhale and round. And now going back and forth at whatever pace matches your breath with your movement. Feel the spine beginning to loosen up. And maybe each time going just a little bit further in one direction or the other. And then come back up to center. And now separate the hand, keep the fingers interlaced, but lengthen the arms up over the head, pressing up through the heels of the hands. Lift up. And then as you exhale, we're going to arch over towards the right. And notice that stretch in the rib cage, the shoulder going down into the hip. And then inhale and come up. And exhale, arch other side. And then inhale and bring it back up once again. And exhale, release the arms back and down and around back behind. Bring the palms of the hands together, interlace the fingers, and press your knuckles towards the sand behind you. Squeeze those shoulder blades together. Roll the upper arms out and feel how that helps to open up the chest. This is a wonderful postural correction for the vast majority of us. Inhale, lift the chin, take a couple of deep breaths around the collarbones and the throat. Take a breath in. And then exhale, release the hands, bring the arms back around, and we're going to place the fingertips on top of the shoulders. And begin to make a circle in the air with the elbows. Circling around one way, and then around the other way. And notice any particular places where the movement doesn't feel quite smooth. Feel free to move the arms back and forth in any way that's helpful. And then release that movement. We're going to reach the arms straight out to the sides, and then we're going to tilt over to the right. Bring the right hand down. Bring the left arm across, and then begin to make a big circle in the air with that left arm. First one way, and then around and the other way. Be cautious with any tender areas, especially if you have known rotator cuff injury. Just slow it down through any tender areas. And remember to keep taking nice, long, deep breaths as you encounter tension or discomfort. You can use the exhalation to let go of tightness, stress, and discomfort from the body. Now, inhale, we'll reach up through that left hand, press down through the right palm, back up to center, arms straight out to the sides. Take a breath in. And then exhale, tilt over the other direction. So now we settle the weight down into the left hand or elbow as we reach the right arm across. and then a big circle in the air. And notice that this shoulder is probably going to feel different than the other shoulder. Majority of you being right-handed, you'll notice that your range of movement on this side is probably not as good. Just because the dominant arm and shoulder and hand are going to be a little bit more muscularly developed. Now, if you've been practicing yoga regularly, then you may not have that issue. And then reaching the arm back up once again. Arms are again straight out to the sides. Take a breath in. And as you exhale, now we're going to rotate around towards the right. Bring the left hand onto the right knee and the right arm wraps around behind the back. Drop the shoulders and look around out to the left. Sorry, to the right. Take a breath in. And as you exhale now, rotate back to face forwards and just pause for a moment. You'll notice the difference between one side of the body and the other. Especially feel what the right side of the chest feels like compared to the left. Probably feels a little more open. If that's not your experience, that's okay too. Inhale, reach the arms straight out to the sides, lift through the crown of the head, and this time the exhalation taking us into a twist to the left. So wrapping that left arm around behind the back, the right hand helping to bring us into the twist, but not in any kind of a forceful way. When we come up against resistance in the body, we want to back off a little bit, and on an exhalation, perhaps re-engage. And you'll find that this soft way of coming up against your limits is more effective than trying to push past them. You want to relax into whatever that blockage or tightness is. Take a breath in, and then as you exhale, slowly let yourself turn back to face forwards. And just pause for a moment. Take this opportunity to feel what's happening in your upper body. Okay, and then we can begin to extend our legs. Let the legs rock a little bit from side to side. And then we're going to sit with the knees bent. See if you can place the feet flat on the ground, close together. Place your hands behind you for support. And then we're just going to let the knees drop from one side to the other. First, we bring both knees moving together. And then see if you can bring one leg up and over, followed by the second one. And notice how this feels in the lower back and the hips. And now the next time that the knees drop over to the right, we'll let them stay there. And we're going to bring that left arm around and walk the right arm around and turn to look over that right shoulder once again. And then release, come back to forwards. And we'll do the same thing a couple of times, back and forth. And now this time, knees come over to the left. And we'll walk the hands around to the right and see if you can bring them in close towards the body. And then release back around in front. And we'll drop the knees out to the side and see if you can bring the soles of the feet together. Interlacing fingers around the shins. Press the knees towards the ground. Take a deep breath in and out. And gently press the outer knees towards the ground. Just a gentle press. See if you can open up the inner thighs. And then gently press and release a few times. Notice how that feels. See if you can find the muscles on the outer legs that help to draw the knees downwards. And then press the knees down, inhale, lift the chin and the chest, and on the exhalation, draw your torso forwards a little bit. Doesn't have to be much, keeping the chin lifted. And with each successive breath, perhaps coming out a little bit more over the feet, if that's appropriate for your body. But again, as you come up against those limitations, breathe into them. Perhaps they'll melt. But even if they don't, remember, yoga is not about being more flexible. That's a benefit of yoga, but that's not why we're doing this. The intention of yoga is to be more conscious, more present, more aware, especially of your body. Too often, we remove consciousness from the body and spend our attention on thoughts and everything around us. And we forget about what's happening in our own body. Now, in the next inhalation, bring your torso back up to center. We'll place the hands on the outer knees, press the knees closed, and extend the legs out in front. Rock your legs a little bit from side to side. Okay, and then from here, we're going to come on to our hands and knees. So we'll continue with a few more spinal warm-ups. So with the hands underneath the shoulders, the knees underneath the hips, we'll take a deep breath in. And then exhale and round the spine, pressing the middle back up towards the sky. And then as we inhale, lift the chin, lift the tailbone, drop the belly. And then exhale and round. And just as we did when we were in the seated position, we want to coordinate the breath and the movement. As we lift and arch, notice that the lung space opens. There's more room to breathe in. It's almost naturally drawn in. And then as you exhale, we close down and compress the front of the torso, and the breath is naturally pressed out. See if you can feel the movement all along the length of the spine. From the crown of the head down through the neck, the torso, the lower back, the sacrum, and even the tailbone. Feel the movement getting smoother and freer as your spine limbers up. And then we'll come back to neutral. And now we're going to step the right foot forwards underneath that right shoulder. Good. Now, press the buttocks back as you drop the torso towards the front of the leg. Just a nice, gentle stretch here for the leg. And then draw the toes towards the head. Feel how that changes the stretch. Now we'll come forwards once again, foot flat on the ground. And we'll place the right hand on the right knee, shift some weight into the left palm, and take a breath in. And as you exhale, we're going to turn the torso up towards the right, looking up at the sky, pressing lightly into that right hand, so you're bringing the rotation into the rib cage as well. Then we turn back to face forwards, bring the left hand on top of the back of the right hand, and then adjusting the position of that right foot so it feels real sturdy, we're going to curl the left toes under, and now see if you can raise that left knee. If you need to use your hands, that's okay too. Now, once we're here, we're going to come into a nice lunge. Drop the sits bones, press back through that left heel, and then bringing the arms up and parallel, palms facing each other about shoulder width. Breathe in. As you breathe out now, reach your torso out over that front leg and bring the hands down on the ground on either side of the foot. Now press that left heel down and lift through the right buttock as you drop your forehead towards that shin. Feel that delicious stretch. Let your hips shift a little bit from one side to the other. Notice how that feels in the hip, the buttock, hamstring. And then once again, we bring the knee forwards over the ankle, press back through the left heel. The left hand is underneath that left shoulder. And once again, we're going to raise that right arm, twisting to the right. Reach that right arm up into the air. Take a breath in and exhale. Slowly release that arm. Place the hand on the outside of the foot and drop the knee. And then once again, we're going to press that buttock back towards the heel. Drop the forehead. And then coming back forwards once again. Now we're going to take that right foot over to the left and see if you can place the bent knee right in front of you in between the hands. We'll send that left leg back. All right. Take a breath in, and as you exhale, just shift your weight a little bit from side to side. And feel in the body what's happening in your hip right now. Opening up buttock and thigh. And then walk your hands forwards. This is one of my favorite hip and glute openers. Coming forwards and just release your weight down into the top of the thigh and feel that delicious stretch. And then walk the hands in. And we're going to come back into our table position now. Reach that right leg straight back. Roll the foot around on the ankle. And then bend the knee and pulse the sole of the foot up into the air a few times. And then bring that right knee out to the side and begin to make a circle in the air with the right knee. Puppy in the fire plug. Years ago, whenever I used to teach this, I'd say, if you want to run with the big dogs, you got to pee higher on the tree. Interestingly enough, a study came out last year that said little dogs pee higher on the tree. I was right. Okay, Drop that knee. And now we're going to repeat that series on the other side. So we're going to bend the left knee, bring the foot forward between the hands, and then pressing back through the buttock. Let the forehead drop towards the shin for a moment. Just starting to wake up that leg a little. And then same stretch, but with the toes drawn towards the head. And then come back forwards. And placing the left hand on top of that left knee, turning to look upwards. And then turn back. And we'll curl the left toes, the right toes under as we place the right hand on top of the back of the left hand, and then shifting weight forward. See if you can raise that right knee and come into the lunge. Good. And then release the hands, bring the arms up overhead. And then lean forwards, torso over leg, hands come down on either side of the foot. And then straighten that leg, dropping the the forehead towards the shin. Draw the toes towards the head. And then come back forwards. The knee is going to be over the ankle. Shift the weight into that right hand. And then we're going to raise the left arm up into the air. Press forward through the crown of the head. Press back through the right heel. Reach up through the left fingertips. And breathe. And then we'll sweep that left arm down. Drop the right knee. Once again, press buttocks back towards heel. Forehead towards shin. And then draw toes towards head. And then we come back forwards. And we'll take that left foot now over towards the right, placing the bent knee in between the hands. Reach that right leg back as far as it'll go. And shift your weight a little bit from side to side. And now notice, how does this left buttock compare to the right? And then walking hands forwards and come down. Lowering the weight into that thigh. Notice how that affects the stretch for you. Now, we'll come back up onto all fours. And we'll extend that left leg straight back. And then begin to circle the foot around in the ankle. And then bend the knee and pulse the heel up towards the sky, engaging the muscles of the buttock and the hamstring. And then bring that knee straight out to the side of the hip and big circles. See how wide you can open up the hip. And then release the movement, come back on the knees, and press buttocks towards heels. Taking a moment to come down into child's pose. You can make a little pillow with your hands and let your forehead drop. And just take a couple of deep breaths. Now back onto all fours. Placing hands under shoulders, knees under hips, curl the toes under. And we're going to press buttocks up and back into a downward facing dog pose. Lifting through the tailbone. We approximate an inverted V here. Press a little bit more into the left heel, bending the right knee. And then switch. And then we're going to walk the hands towards the feet or the feet towards the hands and just come into a ragdoll position. And then slowly bending the knees, we're going to press into the feet and gradually round ourselves upwards, letting the arms and the head hang as we gradually come back up into a standing position. And just pause for a moment and notice how you feel. All right, how's everybody doing? Good. Good, good. Okay, so in our standing position. So we're going to rock the weight a little bit back and forth from heels to toes a few times. Waking up the feet. See how strong your toes are. Can you come up on your tippy toes? This is a great exercise to do on a regular basis as we age. You probably all know that one of the biggest problems that we can have as we get older is our balance and the risk of fall. So now's a great time, while we're all strong and healthy, to focus on our balance. Okay. Coming back with the feet, with the weight equally balanced on the feet, right to left and front to back. Roll your shoulders back and down and place the palms of the hands next to the thighs. Take a breath in and out. And then with the next inhalation, we're going to reach the arms out to the sides and up overhead. Palms of the hands come together. We'll interlace the fingers. Take a breath in and out. And with the next inhalation, lengthen up just a little bit more, and as you exhale, begin to arch over towards the right. Breathe and feel. And then inhale, come back up to center, and exhale, other side. Notice where the stretch is showing up in the body. Inhale, bring it back up to center. We're going to go one more time over to the side. Now see if you can keep your ears and your shoulders and your hips and your ankles all in alignment. Imagine you were sandwiched between two big plates of glass. Now inhale, see if you can keep that alignment. Back up through center. And exhaling to the other side. Same thing, ears, shoulders, hips, ankles. And then inhale, bring it back up to center. And exhale, the hands coming down and back and around behind the buttocks. Interlacing the fingers. Spreading the fingers out across the upper buttocks. Press the elbows towards each other. Take a breath in. And as you breathe out, press the hip bones forwards. Lift the chin and chest. Marvelous back bend. And then inhale, come back up to center and relax the arms. Great. Now, step your feet to about twice the width of, at least twice the width of the hips, and turn your toes in slightly. Now, relax the arms, just shake out the arms. Good. And then inhale, reach the arms up and around in a big circle. And now we'll clasp the hands together, interlace the fingers, press the knuckles towards the ground, squeezing shoulder blades. Take a deep breath in. And as you exhale now, we begin to come forwards, lifting the arms and hinging forward at the hips. Chin and chest leading. As we gradually bring the torso forward and down, the arms continue to rise up and over the body. Relax the head and neck. Give the head a little shake. And let your torso sway a little bit from side to side. And then on an inhalation, gradually, slowly start coming back up. Let the head come up over the torso. Close the eyes as you release the hands, and just take a moment to feel the effects of that stretch. Now, we'll bring the feet close together. And we'll move into our tree pose, our balancing pose for today. So we're going to start off on the right leg. So just take a moment and shift your weight over to the right leg. See how it feels. See if the placement of your foot on the ground feels right. Engage that right thigh. Nice, strong standing leg. The left foot coming up now. Place the toe on the floor, on the ground. And with the heel on the ankle, just test your balance here. A little kickstand pose. And then, if you feel sturdy, see if you can find an appropriate place for the heel, either on the inside of the calf or the inside of the thigh. If neither of those is successful for you and you still feel pretty wobbly, go back to having the kickstand pose. When you do have your balance, bring the palms of the hands together. Breathe into the belly. Let your gaze be soft. See the horizon out in front. And then, if you feel strong and sturdy, you can allow your arms to grow up out of your tree as branches. Breathe. And then slowly release it down. Gradually placing that left foot back down. And in a moment, we'll go to the other side. If you're in the pose and your feet are, if you don't have your balance, bring your arms down. It's not going to help if you're doing. So come back. We always want to build the pose from the ground up. Think about it. If a tree is not well rooted, it's not going to grow up. It's not going to have big branches extending out into the sky. So work with the foundation. So in that vein, we're going to now consciously place that left foot. You can even spread the toes a little bit, giving you a firmer grip on the mat or the sand. Firm up that thigh and imagine roots actually growing down from your foot into the earth. Bring the right foot up to the inside of the left ankle, calf, or thigh. Palms of the hands together. Breathe in. Breathe out. Relax. And if you'd like, gradually bringing the arms up overhead. And then gradually release it down. And just pause for a moment and notice how you feel. And then we're going to come back down onto the ground in a seated position with the legs extended out in front. So just take a moment to rock your weight a little bit from side to side and notice the sitting bones. And in fact, you can even take a hand and move the flesh of the buttock out of the way. Press out through the heels, let the hands come down on either side of the thighs. Exhale your breath out, and then inhale, reach the arms up and on either side of the ears. Take a breath in, and as you breathe out, reach yourself out over the legs. Let the hands come down over the toes. Press the crown of the head forwards. And breathe into this delicious stretch for the entire back surface of the body. Pressing down through the back of the knees, you'll get a little more stretch in the hamstrings and calves. Reaching forwards with the crown of the head will lengthen the spine. On an exhalation, you may be able to allow the face to drop towards the legs a little bit more. But again, you're allowing yourself to move deeper into the pose. You're not forcing or pushing yourself. And now we'll come out of the stretch by walking the hands up the front of the legs, gradually back up to center. Now, we'll step the right foot to the outside of the left knee and place the left hand on the outer right knee. Reach the arm out in front at shoulder height, the right arm. Take a breath in. And as you exhale now, trace a line along the horizon with those fingertips. Gradually bringing the hand around and back behind you, planting the hand on the ground so that the heel of the hand is near the base of the spine. So that arm is helping to lengthen the spine upwards. Now the left arm can wrap a little tighter around that right knee. Breathe and feel. Take a breath in, and as you exhale, slowly release yourself back to face forwards. And then we'll extend the right leg and repeat on the left side. So now left knee bends, foot to the outside of the knee, right hand on outer left knee, left arm out in front, breathe in, and as you breathe out, we're going to sweep that arm all the way around, back and front, back and around, and look over that left shoulder. The hand is near the base of the spine, and it's helping you to lift and lengthen the spine. The other arm wrapping around the knee, perhaps aiding the rotation, but again, not in a forceful way. You don't want to be straining or struggling to get somewhere. That is against the idea of being in the moment and being present with your experience. Take a breath in and out. And then inhaling that arm up and back and around in front. Lengthen that leg. And now we'll come down onto the back with the knees bent. And then press the knees together and bring the palms of the hands up to the kneecaps. And then we're going to use the arms to steer the knees around in a little circle. helping to release any lower back tension, continuing to loosen up the hips. And then we can gradually extend the legs out as we now come into position for our deep relaxation portion of the class. Once again, attuning to the breath. Long, slow, deep in and out. Acknowledging the pauses between in and out breath. Feel the areas where your body rests down against the ground. This is your opportunity to let go of your earlier efforts and to just relax. For the next few minutes, there's no agenda, nothing to do. This is your opportunity to let go and to just be. Now, once again, beginning to bring your awareness to your breath. Feel your body against the ground. And beginning to bring some small movements into your fingers and toes and hands and feet. And then gradually beginning to bend the knees and slowly drawing the knees back up to the chest. Hug your knees in and take this opportunity to thank your body for all the miraculous things it does every moment we're alive. And then gradually, in whatever way you'd like, coming back up into a seated position for our closing. Sitting with eyes closed, drink in the effects of our practice this morning. Feel the breeze against your skin, the warmth of the sun, the coolness of the earth beneath us, the gentle sound of the surf. And observe your ability to be here and now. And then lastly, in closing our time together, I will invite you to take a deep breath in and join me in toning the sacred sound of Om. Om, peace, peace, peace. May there be peace in your hearts, peace in your homes, and peace everywhere in your lives. Namaste, y'all. Thanks. You don't have to clap. It's not an aerobics class. I never got that. It's not a performance. Yeah, but I appreciate it, but it feels weird.
Clapping for the video.
Oh, okay, good. Clapping for the videos. Excellent.